All right. Do you know that having a dualized road like this attracts businesses, improves trade, and increase the economic growth of a community? I will explain. Meanwhile, we are at Ekwulobia, Oga Road Dualization. That's the road that stretches from Ekwulobia flyover moving down to Oga. And Oga is the boundary town of Imo State and Anambra State. So the entire stretch of road is being handled by AG Vision. AG Vision is the contractor that is handling the Ekwulobia flyover. And the Ekwulobia flyover is yet to be opened to the general public use. So from here now, we are moving down to the toll gate side. There is a toll plaza that will be constructed somewhere at Oga. So we are going to pass through there to observe what is going on there before we reached the point where work is no longer going on. That is how we are going to do it. So from here, you can see that the road has been asphalted. The same thing I talked about, even though I saw that they are trying to make corrections, not after asphalting, they will carry that right to be filling this central, median of the road. That is putting a square peg in a round hole, or putting the cart before the horse. So in case you don't know, I'm going to open our very eyes today. We are going to hear some important benefits that Anambra State and Aguata community stands to benefit for this road dualization that is going on now. Earlier on, I made mention of ease of doing business, talking about attracting businesses, also improving trade and general economic growth. So I'm going to start from the very beginning and trash these things that we may seem not to understand deeply. That is not just to have a good road to move on. There are so many things, so many benefits and advantages attached to having such, dualized road. Most times when I talk about connecting Anambra State, well, I think I understand it a bit. The importance of connecting Anambra State in a well-dualized road, majorly, the major points, the major areas, to connect. I know what I'm saying. So let's move on. So viewers, I'm going to segment these points into these major groupings. Yes, the first grouping is traffic flow and efficiency. Then the second grouping is safety improvement. The third grouping is economic and social benefits. And the fourth one is infrastructure and environmental impact. Yes, these are the major groupings that I'm going to, have other advantages bring under them. So starting with the first grouping, which is traffic flow and the efficiency, that is talking about the advantages. Then we have reduced traffic congestions, more lanes, accommodate higher traffic volumes, reducing bottlenecks. Then faster travel times. Vehicles can move at a more consistent speed without frequent stop. Then smoother overtaking. Separate lanes minimize risky overtaking maneuvers. When you are overtaking, you don't need to face oncoming vehicle head on. That risk has been totally removed. The only thing you can do is to overtake, the vehicle you are seeing in front, you are coming behind. that vehicle is not facing you head on. So you have less risk when you are overtaking in a dualized road like this. Then we talk about better lane discipline. Lane discipline is very important, when it comes to traveling on the road. That's why it's important to have road markings. The road surface markings help to maintain lane discipline. Divided lanes encourage orderly driving behavior. As you are moving, you watch the lines that are on the road so you know when you are driving zigzag. You need to maintain your lane to avoid off and on your lane. Then we talk about less stop and go traffic. You have less stop and go, in a single traffic road, as a single highway. That's where we experience such things the more. Then there are fewer slowdowns, improve fuel efficiency, and reduce emission. This period that fuel is very expensive, so you don't need all those stop and go. Once you enter and start moving, you have started moving. And the emission of bad carbon monoxide and dioxide on the road, in the air, is reduced because of constant movement of a vehicle. So that is about traffic flow and efficiency, which is usually the major aim of having such road being dualized. But there are so many other benefits, and we are just starting. The safety improvement is the second grouping. I will be dropping the advantages about it. There is reduced head-on collision. A median prevents vehicle from crossing into oncoming vehicle. You see, this median now, this center median you are looking at now, it prevents head-on collision. Another vehicle cannot just cross over it, except if the vehicle is involved in a terrible or very serious accident that will make it to, move over to the other side. But ordinarily, it is very difficult to move to the other side. Then the fewer side swipe accidents. Separate lanes reduce abrupt merging and lane cutting. Then let me explain more about this. A side swipe accident occurs when two vehicles traveling in the same direction make contact, often because one vehicle drifts into the other's lane or attempts an unsafe lane change. You see, side swipe accident, the dual road reduces such accident. But let me still explain the more. And a typical example, imagine a busy single lane highway where a slow moving truck holds up traffic. Impatient drivers might attempt risky overtaking maneuvers, squeezing into tight spaces, and increasing the chances of a side swipe collision. A dual carriageway eliminates this issue by providing a dedicated lane for overtaking. Like this road now, well, usually in a dual carriageway, the left side is for speed moving vehicles, while the other side, the right lane, are for slower moving vehicle. That's how it works in a dual carriageway that has two lanes. That's two lanes dual carriageway like this. Another good point is that such dualized road is safer for pedestrians to use. Then lower accident severity. The likelihood of high impact crashes is reduced. Yes, it will be reduced because major accidents that you will see will never be head-on collision. In fact, dual carriageway reduces accident. It reduces accident to the barest minimum because usually accident occurs more in a single lane road. That's a ordinary highway, single lane that is not dualized. You can make your verifications and research, but dualized road reduces such accidents and makes it safer for vehicles to move on the road. Then let's talk about improved visibility. Wider roads and clear demarcations improve sightliness for drivers. Having said that, that is the last point I will drop under safety improvements of having a dual carriageway. Then I will enter the economic and social benefits of having a dual carriageway like this. Boosts local economy. Better road network attracts businesses and tourism. That is the way it is. When you have a good road like this, people will be happy to move from one point to the other, doing one thing or the other, doing their businesses and the rest of them. So before we continue, here is the toll plaza area. You can see how wide and big it is. This is the toll gate area, and that is where the toll gate will be sitting. Probably very soon construction will start here and the toll gate itself will appear. Well, the issue is not having toll gates because I know my people. In fact, I know the Igbo race in general. We are happy to see good things and we don't mind dropping some tokens to enjoy that good thing so far that what is realized is being maintained. If not, that is where the problem is. What is realized from toll gates has to be used to maintain the road. And if it works perfectly like that, people will not have issues of paying their toll fees. So this is Oga Town, and we are moving towards where the construction is now. That's where the point they are now towards Oga. That's where we are moving. Then it increases property value. Improved infrastructure raises land and property prices. That is another way government can still raise money to do more projects. Once government construct a good road like this, though this place is a village-like settings, but in a city, if government wants, government can still tax people around. The money they raise, they use it to do another road and still tax people around. But, people have experienced so many taxes up and down, of which people have, been involved indirectly or directly. Indirectly, when you apply public transport, already they have increased the price. So you are paying indirectly for the various tax the commercials and other people are paying. So let's proceed. Then encourages investment. Business and real estate developers prefer area with good roads. Yes, that is a fact and that is the truth about the matter. Where there are good roads, they will like to do more businesses around that place, and good roads open up places like fire. In a developed world, they build road first. People that knows what they are doing, people that understand development and the human behavior, they will first of all build roads, map out cities, build their roads, develop everything, construct the drainages, both underground and surface seal drainage the way they want it before people start building their homes. That's the way it works. So, but here we always do things in other opposite directions. And the thing na anyụ anyị afịa. Ọ na-anyụ anyị afịa kpata, but still we don't want to learn. And to catch up with the real thing now is becoming difficult. Though, but if we are determined, we can still catch up with the trend of events and the world standard. Yes, the next in line we are going to talk about should be more efficient goods transport, faster and smoother movements, benefits logistics and trade. When goods and services move faster, the logistics and trade enjoys the more. People that are into logistics and people trading, they have reduced hitches in their act of doing their businesses. That's why we talk about the ease of doing businesses in this area. Then reduces travel costs. That one, it reduces travel costs. Okay, that's part of it. But usually our people don't send you once the cost has gone up, hardly it comes down. Even if the whole road is under nylon tile, that is none of their businesses. I've seen that happening severally. Even if what they will do is to increase the price in short. And our people are very, very sensitive when it comes to demand and supply. That demand and supply, they don't joke with it. Once they notice that the demand is going up, they will jack the price immediately. Then, having said that, I'm done with economic and social benefit of having such dual carriageway like we are seeing it now. Then I'm going to talk about the last groupings which I made mention earlier, which is the infrastructure and the environmental impact. Then under this, we have better road durability. Spreading traffic reduces road wear and extend lifespan. The traffic is being spread out. It's not in a single lane where traffic face each other and the road suffers it. Some people don't understand that the kind of traffic that is experiencing on a particular road will determine the type of construction that will be done on that road. Should I repeat? It is the type of traffic that people experiences on the road that determine how better the road will be constructed. I'm not talking about if the traffic is less, then they will reduce the quality. No, there is standard gauge of road construction, whether anywhere, internal streets or anywhere. So, but I'm talking about when there is excessive traffic on that road, the durability is expected and the quality has to be jacked up to ensure the durability of that road. Then improved drainage system. Wider roads allow for better stormwater management. Well, that's why I complained, when I visited that new government house road. The drainage is a little tiny because of the size of that road. But I'm of the opinion that when we are ready, I think when we are ready, we need to reconstruct the entire drainages at once. Where the underground is needed, we'll channel underground drainages and the rest. How can ancient cities in Nigeria, like Owerri, for instance, Owerri has underground drainages a lot. You can verify what I'm saying. Then these drainages were constructed years ago, talking about 50, 60 years ago. So are we moving from forward or are we moving backward? I don't know if you get my point. We are supposed to improve on what we have. No, politicians, you have a lot of work to do. The way our politicians do their things, is not really what is supposed to be. We are supposed to be improving on probably the type of underground drainages we are to be constructed these days, and not the type of underground drainages they constructed then. That is what we should be talking about. But our politicians are after kilometers of road, asphalt laid on the road, throwing all cautions to the wind. They forget that proper functional drainage is what makes the asphalt to last. Well, let's continue. Then easier road maintenance. Repairs can be done on one side while traffic flows on the other side. Yes, you can see having a dual carriageway have all the benefit that you can think of for the people using that road. See, the government, if one side have issue now, they can be working on one side while traffic is using the other side. Both traffic can be using the other side. It doesn't disturb anything. Well, the next point I'm going to talk about is reduced noise pollution. Traffic flows more steadily, reducing honking and sudden braking. Usually where there is traffic, you'll be hearing honking of horns, pa 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 pa, all those stuff, and sudden braking and the rest of them. So it reduces noise and vehicles overheating and every other thing that follows that. Well, the last but not the least here is the support future expansion. Support future expansion. Dual carriageway are easier to upgrade to expressways when needed. Highway is not an expressway, and what I'm saying here is that the dual carriageway can easily be converted into an expressway. Usually, an expressway connects states, and apart from connecting states, it is meant for high-speed vehicles. In an expressway, car in Nigeria, they are expected to move at the highest speed of 100 kilometers per hour. While on the highway like this, you don't move more than 80 kilometers per hour. And that is what it is. And in case if you had observed earlier, too much talk made me not to say it. As we are coming from Ekwulobia, you will notice the sign there, which is 80, speed limit 80 kilometers. But that speed limit where you see 80 kilometers, there is what is called common sense speed limit. Abroad, Abroad, they usually change the speed limit of a road like this. It doesn't mean that the speed limit continues. In most foreign countries, they change it at a point. You see the speed limit, it will reduce, then at a point it will increase. It's not like that in Nigeria. Nigeria, we have each type of road has its speed limit. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you are on any road in Nigeria, even the speed limit that you know doesn't mean that you must go on that speed limit. If you come to a built-up area like you have there at Ekwulobia, exactly where you have that sign, 80 kilometers per hour, you are not even expected to move at that 80 kilometer per hour. That place, I saw that sign. Why? Because it is a built-up area and you are supposed to reduce your speed, even though you are authorized to move at 80 kilometers per hour. That is the point that I'm making concerning the use of a speed limit on Nigerian roads.